What's going on YouTube? It's your boy CamATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you commented on the videos last week and you entered your name into the giveaway, I will be commenting the winner of that down below in the comment section when I am done with this video right here. So scroll down so you can see if you are the winner. If not, go ahead and try again. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment anything in the comment section down below to enter your name into that giveaway. All right. Now, we have week 5 now. Week 4 was amazing for the squad. Greenlightdfs.com was on point. Everything was great. The first look lineup ended up going crazy. So everything was awesome for week 4, man. We got to keep this momentum going into week 5. So let's get straight into it. All right, starting off at quarterback, we got Ben Roethlisberger at the top at 6'9". His price is fairly high, but I understand why against Atlanta. It is a great matchup. If you have the money, get Ben Roethlisberger. In this video, I'm going to kind of just swing through these guys, okay? I'm going to swing through these guys, get to the point, spend a little more time on the guys that I'm really liking, but I'll make sure I mention all the value guys that I like. And then later on in the week, I'll post another video. As you can tell, Craig's not here with me. He has some things to do, so I'm going to bang this out myself. But it's not like I don't know how to do this, so let's go ahead and do this. All right. Now, Ben Roethlisberger, like I said, if you have the money, pay up for some Ben Roethlisberger. Phillip Rivers also is in play against Oakland. I love him at home. Matt Ryan is also in play at 6'6", going against Pittsburgh. I'd prefer the guy at home for 300 more, though, for Ben Roethlisberger. Where I'm really looking at, one of the guys I'm really looking at is Matthew Stafford. At home in Detroit, I love Matthew Stafford going against Green Bay. We know one thing. We know Aaron Rodgers. We know Green Bay is going to score. We know their offense is going to move the ball, which in turn is going to force Detroit to throw the ball a lot, which is something that Matthew Stafford does anyways. So it's not like I'm worried that Matthew Stafford's not going to throw the ball a ton. We know he is. I love his weapons on this offense. There's a lot of those guys that I like this week, and I am leaning towards Matthew Stafford. And another guy that I'm leaning really highly towards this week is my boy Blake Bortles against Kansas City. One thing we know about Kansas City is they score the ball. Against Jacksonville, it is a tough task, but Kansas City will still score, especially at home. And that's going to force Blake Bortles to air the ball out. The problem is it's hard to tell exactly who you want to get exposure to on the Jacksonville offense because he spreads the ball out so well. So we don't know 100%, but Blake Bortles at 5'5" is another guy I'm highly interested in. Those are my two guys I'm really, really loving this week. Other than them, obviously, you got the Cam Newtons against the Giants as a solid option. I like Cam. I mentioned Phillip Rivers already. I like him. We got anybody else I'm interested in? Eli Manning versus Carolina. No, thank you. I'm not interested in that. I just love the matchup for last week. I'm not too into that this week. The Carolina defensive line could cause problems for Eli Manning in this game. Other than that, that's about it, man. There's not a whole bunch of quarterbacks we're really interested in. It's either the top guys, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, or you save some money and go with Matthew Stafford or Blake Bortles. I'm leaning Matthew Stafford. I absolutely love Matthew Stafford on this slate. At running back, Todd Gurley's at the top where he should be. Going against the Seattle team he dominated last year. Okay, last year. And their defense was better last year, too. He got 4 touchdowns, 152 rushing yards. Okay, so I absolutely love Todd Gurley at 9'4". He is definitely in play. If you have the money, get some Todd Gurley, but there is some good value at running back this week. We got Melvin Gordon at home in Los Angeles going against Oakland. Another solid matchup here. They're not huge favorites, so I expect Melvin to be involved in the pass game and on the ground. I like Melvin Gordon a lot. Christian McCaffrey's another guy at 8,000 I'm interested in. Question is he going to get any involvement in the pass game, or is he just going to get a shit ton of touches? But either way, he's getting touches either way. But I prefer him to be getting a lot of pass-catching opportunities. And against the Giants, I don't know if he'll have that. They're huge favorites here. And I'm not sure exactly how Christian McCaffrey will be utilized in this offense this week. Saquon Barkley is an interesting choice at 7'7", but like I said, there's some value guys, and I'm going to touch on him right now. James Conner at home in Pittsburgh is near a lock for me at 7-5 against an Atlanta team that struggles against pass-catching backs. And this is a great situation for James Conner, man. He catches a bunch of pass. He gets the ball thrown at him. He runs the ball a lot. He's a focal point of this offense. I mean, they're an offense that's based around the running back with Le'Veon Bell. So they're not changing their game plan. They're just using James Conner the same way they would use Le'Veon Bell. So I like James Conner at 7-5. He is damn near locked for me at home in Pittsburgh against the Atlanta Falcons. Okay? Keep an eye on the injuries in Cincinnati. Keep an eye on how that's going as of right now. I don't have a 100% grasp on it. I would expect Joe to miss and Giovanni to come in, but we're not 100% sure there. A guy I really love is David Johnson. Okay, at 6'3", we're getting an elite running back. I know the offense situation is bad for Arizona right now, and we don't absolutely love it, but it's against a bad defense. Okay, the offense they finally got him over 20 touches last week, which is amazing news. Finally, they utilized their best player on their team. And they're not idiots, so they're going to continue to do so. And at 6'3", you get an elite running back who is trending up right now. So I love him. TJ Yeldon is a guy I'll be looking at heavy this week with Leonard Fournette most likely missing here. I love TJ Yeldon here. He's a good pass-catching running back going against Kansas City, where I expect them to have to throw the ball as well, not just run it every time. I like this situation for TJ Yeldon at 5'6". He's in a great spot as well. Some other cheap running backs that I love, I'll run through them real quick. Kerryon Johnson for Detroit is in a good spot. Austin Eckler for the Chargers is a solid spot, but mainly that's if Oakland's able to keep this game close and they use Eckler. He's a cheap option. Jalen Richard is the pass-catching back for Oakland. He could get some run if the Chargers do come out and do very well here. Aaron Jones is a good option for Green Bay against Detroit. Detroit has struggled a lot versus the run this year. So I love Aaron Jones here in this matchup. Some other guys. That's about it, man. I've touched on all the guys I'm really interested in. My running back list this week pretty much is Yeldon, Connor, David Johnson, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, McCaffrey, Kerryon Johnson, Jalen Richard at that very cheap price if that game flow is what we would expect it to be. Marshawn Lynch is a solid option, and then Aaron Jones. I love the combination of David Johnson and James Conner, though. Okay? All right. At wide receiver, my plays that I love for wide receiver, I don't have a whole lot of them. I'm sticking around some kind of mid-range-ish options here, but I absolutely love Juju Schuster at 7'5". Just because I don't touch on one of these big guys doesn't mean I don't like them. They're all in good spots, but if you have the money, then go ahead, get an Antonio Brown. But I'm going to save some money and go Juju Schuster at 7'5". I love his situation here in this matchup. It's an amazing matchup for him. And you know they're going to have to throw a ton against Atlanta, so I think Juju Schuster is an amazing play here. Marvin Jones for Detroit pairing up with my boy Matthew Stafford is a good cheap option to put there. Let's talk about some other guys. Keenan Allen against Oakland. Great spot for Keenan Allen here as well against Oakland. Like I said, that game should be a good game here, and I think Keenan Allen's going to get heavily involved in this one. Keep an eye on Mike Williams, a cheap option for the Chargers as well. He's a cheap option in what should be a good game. Golden Tate, love Golden Tate, Kenny Galladay, and Marvin Jones against Green Bay. Like we know, like I said before, okay, the same reason I love Stafford. Green Bay's going to score. Detroit's going to have to catch up. Detroit's going to have to throw to keep the game close. Golden Tate's going to benefit. Galladay's going to benefit, and Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones is the cheaper of the group, so I definitely like him. But yeah, I'm interested in all those. Julio Jones, of course. I'm interested in him as well. And Antonio Brown for sure. The rest of the guys I'm not highly involved in. Adam Thielen, I like him. Against Philly, it's a solid matchup. Him and Stephon Diggs are definitely in play for me as well. But those are the main guys. Sorry, guys, I got all the way back there. But those are the main guys I'm looking at here. At tight end, is a smallish list as well. You spend up, get some Zach Ertz, or spend up and get Kelsey. Or George Kittle looked solid at 5'4". He has a good history with Beathard. They played together before. I like Kittle at 5'4". He was getting some good looks. Jared Cook's a good option against the Chargers. I like him as well. But my favorite tight end pick is Vance McDonald at 3.7. He is going to be the pass-catching tight end that they use in a game like this against Atlanta. He's been very, very solid. I think he has a great game here. And at 3.7, it gets some exposure to that Pittsburgh offense at a good price. Austin Seferian-Jenkins is another solid option here. Like I said, I like Bortles. If you want to pair Bortles with Seferian-Jenkins, I'm not going to hate you for it. He hasn't been getting a whole lot of targets. But against Kansas City, this is definitely a matchup where he is going to be needed. He's going to be relied on a lot. And at 2.9, that price is too low. Ricky Seals-Jones is another guy to keep an eye on for Arizona. That's a good situation for him. Jimmy Graham is a solid option. I like him as well. But that's about it. My favorite tight end option is Vance McDonald. It's not really that close. Keep an eye on the situation between Tyler Kroft and Uzoma. Not exactly sure how to say his name. But I like CJ more than I like Tyler Kroft because he was getting more looks. He got more snaps in that game. All right. Last but not least, let's touch on the defenses real quick. There's not a whole bunch of great ones. I'm really sitting at the cheaper level when it comes to defense this week. I think the Rams are a solid defense, even though they're going against Baker Mayfield. I get it. Baker's at home. I get it. But that Rams defense is a solid defense here, and they're only 2.8, and they give us a cheap defense that we can trust fairly well. I mean, they're not going to get blown up and get negative points. I highly doubt that. Okay, and at 2.8. They're definitely a solid choice. The Tennessee Titans are another defense that I'm interested in. Great matchup versus Buffalo. I will be involved in that. Cincinnati Bengals are also a solid option. And I even like the Bills on the other side of that versus Tennessee at only 2.3. Like I said, you don't need much. I don't love paying up for defense because I have other spots I want to pay up for. And that's about it, man. I'm going cheap defense this week. That's how I'm going to be staying around that so I can get the players I want in my actual lineup. I don't recommend normally paying up big for defenses. There's really no big need for it. And that's about it, man. Let's go ahead and put this first look lineup in. At quarterback, we're rolling with Matthew Stafford against Green Bay. I talked about how much I love that Detroit offense. Running back, David Johnson. He's too elite to be priced that low. Next up, James Conner, an amazing matchup against Atlanta. Absolutely love my boy James Conner. Then at wide receiver, I'm pairing him up with my boy Juju Schuster to get some involvement. While I'm in that, let me put Vance McDonald in here because I love Vance. At wide receiver, I'm going to go Golden Tate, the main guy who gets a ton of targets for Detroit. And then I'm going to go to a little money saver with Marvin Jones. We talked about him a little bit. I absolutely love him in this matchup against Green Bay. Amazing matchup. At the flex, my boy TJ Yeldon with Fournette most likely out. By the end of the week, guys, I know I've gone through this video. I will do another video at the end of the week getting in detail with the value picks and all that stuff. We'll talk about what's happened throughout the week and all that, and we'll refresh. But TJ Yeldon getting that start for Fournette. He's a good pass-catching back, and in this matchup against Kansas City, they will be throwing. And last but not least, the defense is the Bills' defense against Tennessee. Like I said, I don't need a ton from them. They're at home going against Tennessee, who can be a bit wishy-washy. They've been solid this year, but I doubt I'm going to get negative points out of the Bills' defense. I love them at 2.3. And that's it. Matthew Stafford, David Johnson, James Conner, Schuster, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Vance McDonald, TJ Yeldon, and Bills D. I'm very excited for this first look lineup. It is looking sexy. Make sure you come back to the channel for the next video that I post on Saturday morning to give you guys more of an up-to-date look after the week goes through. Hopefully you guys were looking at the same plays. Hopefully I was able to touch on guys maybe you were questionable on, and you guys are able to get it, man. Go to greenlightdfs.com to join the squad. Comment, like the video, comment anything down in the comment section to enter your name for the $50 giveaway, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'm out.